Even when we love what we're doing, it's easy to get burnout. Sometimes the right person can change our outlook on our job. This is Breathe In, Breathe Out. Red and blue flashed outside. Sirens wailed all around the hospital. I could almost drown it out at this point, as if it were my white noise machine at home. But something about today just made the sirens and the noise and the lights all too much. I stole away to my favorite broom closet, the one without chemicals, so that I could clear my head before seeing my next patient. Deep breath in. Hold, hold, hold. Deep breath out. Repeat, I thought to myself. The beeping that sang from the speakers interrupted my deep breathing and alerted me to a call happening on the floor. Oh man, I hope it's not another one of my patients, I thought. Praying the call was for anyone else, I walked to the nurse's station. It's Edna, room 506, the receptionist said lazily, handing me Edna's chart. Deep breath in. Review, Aisling. Edna is a 65-year-old fall risk with a habit of making everything an emergency, I thought to myself. The only thing she didn't treat as an emergency was the heart attack that put her on my cardiac floor. Hi, Edna. How can I help you? I muttered, entering her room. You brought room temperature water, and I wanted cold water, she informed me. Back when I was a stewardess, if I brought a patron room temperature water, it would be thrown back on me. Now, Aisling, say thank you for not throwing this water on you. Thank you, Edna, I sneered in the most polite way possible. I'll be right back with cold water. I hurried from the room to the closest accommodations cart. I glanced at my watch after dumping ice into the cup. The watch face glared 1800 at me. Maggie, my 6-year-old niece, would be taking the soccer field and playing yet another soccer game I couldn't go to. Seeing her face fall this morning when I told her once again that I couldn't go because I had to work made me wonder if this nursing thing was worth it. Just 4 more hours until I can try to sleep, I thought to myself. These 12-hour shifts were draining, but what was more draining was not getting any sleep at night. When I tried to sleep, patient after patient hooked up to a ventilator, rushed from my cardiac floor, never to be seen again, clouded my brain and entirely drowned out the jungle white noise that was supposed to quiet my mind. I resigned myself to tossing from one side of the bed to the other in the dark until I gave up and watched reality television. My mom doesn't think that is the best strategy to occupy my brain, but watching a rich person get upset over nothing is better than thinking about what more I could have done for those patients. Water trickled onto my hands. I overfilled the cup. Great, I thought to myself. This is marvelous. After wiping my hands, I trudged back to her room. Here you go, Edna. I gently placed the cup on her bedside tray. Is there anything else I can do for you? My hair hasn't been brushed in a while. Could you brush my hair? No, thank you, I thought to myself. Of course, I replied. Just give me 1 moment, and I'll be back with the brush. I walked to the nurse's station to get the brush. In nursing school, we studied how hair grew, the vitamins needed for hair growth, and the different diseases that the hair clues us into. But we weren't given labs or clinicals on brushing hair, yet here I was. My shoulders felt too heavy to keep pushed back as I entered Edna's room. I didn't even brush the hair of Barbies growing up, I thought to myself. As I began brushing Edna's hair, the silence grew too loud for even her. Back when I was a stewardess, her favorite phrase to begin a conversation, we would blow dry our hair and curl our ends. I replied. I got pretty good at using a hairbrush, and after that heart attack, I just can't raise my hand high enough to brush it. Her polished fingers played with each other. The heart monitor made a longer beep than normal, and I focused on the line bumping up and down. Aisling, my name snapped my attention back to Edna. What do you do when you're not at the hospital? Try not to think about my patients, dream about being a naive college student again who thought nursing was all about giving medications and bringing water to patients. Wish I had a boyfriend. I started. No verbal clutter. That makes a person look dumb. You're not dumb, Aisling. I was thinking, I corrected her. Since I'm not married, I work a lot because my bosses think I can take extra shifts. My hands become still at the ends of her hair. So, in my fake spare time, I ran the brush through her hair once more. I try to hang out with my niece Maggie. I try to go to church or to get coffee with friends, but they all have their own lives, I confided in her. You have a niece, Edna's face softened. Yeah, she's 6 and full of spunk. The smile crept to my face as I talked about her. I love her to death, but I'm too busy to go to her games or to take her to Build-A-Bear. I remember when I was that busy, back when I was a stewardess. I had just had twins, and my husband told me it was time to go back to work. Edna had kids. Why don't they visit? I was a different kind of busy, she continued, because I had to fly so much, and it wasn't just across the United. Ouch! She croaked as the hairbrush came up upon a nasty knot. I almost had forgotten I was brushing her hair. Edna, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. It's okay, where was I? Traveling and being busy. Oh, right. I delighted in being busy, but being up in the clouds made me miss my babies more. And because Gilbert couldn't stay at home with the twins, he put them in a boarding school when they got to kindergarten. Her eyes started to well on the sides, and she dabbed at them with her right arm. I didn't get to go to the Sunday school events, she continued, and I missed their high school graduation on a layover in Dubai. What I'm trying to say, Ashleen, she motioned for me to stop and tenderly grabbed my hands. You need to beep. The heart rate monitor screamed at me. Edna's hand went limp. Wait, what? Quickly, I slammed my hand on the blue button on the wall and pushed her bed flat. 1, 2, 3. I started to count to 30 for chest compressions. Is she responding? I thought to myself. Am I pressing too hard? Suddenly, the nurses were inside with a crash cart, and they talked too quickly for my ears to pick up on anything. Get out of the way, Ashleen, the surgeon nurse shouted at me as she rubbed 2 metal paddles together. It was far too crowded near Edna, and I did not have a job in the room, so I had to take a step outside into the hallway. That happened so fast, I thought to myself. I sat outside the room. I was just holding onto Edna's hand. I tried to clear my head and to sort what I had just witnessed. What happened? The charge nurse asked, jogging toward the room. 1 minute, Edna was talking to me, holding my hand, trying to give me advice, and the next minute, the vital monitor was screaming at me. I tried chest compressions, and then the surgeon nurse came in with the crash cart, and I heard up the charge yelled from the other room. The charge nurse darted inside. My mind flooded with all the memories of the other patients that I couldn't help. Not Edna, too, I thought. My whole body tensed, and I slid down the wall and just prayed. For the thoughts to go away, for Edna to be okay, for the nurses to know what to do. I faintly heard the surgeon nurses call me back inside to add the notes to Edna's chart. I hesitated before I entered. Deep breath in, hold, hold, hold. Deep breath out, I thought to myself. Okay, I'm ready, I said with my pen ready to go. Edna's heart went into AFib. We shocked her with 200 volts. After not responding, we shocked her with 300 volts, and she's once again stable. The beeping monitor confirmed his statements. Edna lay there, still and quiet. Her hair was messed up. She would hate to see it. The charge nurse told me to go check on my other patients, but it was hard to focus on anyone else. Every time I heard the intercom go off, my pulse quickened, fearing it would be another code about Edna. I found myself walking past room 506 constantly in the last 2 hours of my shift. But she would not wake up for a while. Hey, Ashleen, you had a kind of rough day. How about we go get breadsticks from Olive Garden? My coworker asked. Sorry, not tonight. I'm going to stay a little longer to check on Edna. I tried to laugh it off, but when I walked away, I heard her mutter to the girl at the desk that I always decline their invitations to go out. I didn't always decline their offers, just most of the time. The end of my shift came, and I had to leave her overnight. That night, I tossed and turned, hearing the faint noise of a heart monitor flatlining. It's not real, I thought to myself. It's not real. The tropical sounds of the jungle once again could not drown out the thoughts, so on went the TV. I awoke in a cold sweat the next morning at 10. I decided to go to the hospital, on my day off, to see Edna. After greeting the nurse at the desk, I peeked into room 506 to see the state of Edna, and was delighted to see her sitting up in the chair next to her bed trying to paint her nails. Edna, what are you doing? I asked as I finally strolled inside. My nails were chipped in whatever happened yesterday. Can you believe that? A fresh top coat, yet the sides still chipped. Oh, Ashleen, that was frustrating, she told me as she reached her hand forward. My hands are a little shaky, so I'm flooding my cuticles. Could you help me? Yes, of course, I said as I grabbed the black little lid with emerald green on the brush. The steady rhythm of the heart rate machine was the only noise in the room as I focused on not getting the color onto her skin. That would not make her happy. After the final top coat was applied, Edna looked at me, just like my mom did at graduation. Why did you come in on your day off? You know there are other nurses, right? Edna asked me. Yeah, I know. But before everything happened yesterday, you were trying to tell me something, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. What was the advice you were trying to give me? I finally muttered. Her face scrunched as she thought about it. Her eyes lit up with the epiphany. Ashleen, she said, with the warmness of a summer day, you need to invest in Maggie, in the people around you. Work will come and go. Money is made to be spent. Spend it on Maggie. Spend it on dinner with your friends. Make those memories. She began to pat my hand. You need to learn that mistakes happen and let them go. Life is too short to hold on to those. Don't work yourself to death as a punishment. We talked for a while and then she fell asleep. I sat there and pondered what she had said. Do I actually punish myself with work? By staying late at work, am I failing my other patients? With Edna asleep there, I knew that I would have more time to for her to give me sagely advice. Many more days of hair brushing, and who knows, maybe even more nail polish. Hey, I greeted the nurse at the nurse's station. Does your offer still stand for breadsticks?